Welcome back to Word More. We're going to be going over Wednesday, December 23rd's slate in college basketball. Before we do that, we will go over yesterday or Tuesday, how we did. So we had two official plays in the Discord. They were, Iowa -7. Iowa won by, I believe, 15, 16, 70 to 55, so 15, I believe. And Liberty first half -14.5. This one got here versus an Alcorn State team that is awful. I don't really remember what the score was, but they won by a lot. So we went 2-0 today. Two good wins. We had Georgia Tech for tomorrow, but Georgia Tech just got canceled. They're playing UAB. I was actually going to get to go to the game. It has been canceled due to COVID, so that is unfortunate. We have one more play for tomorrow, but nonetheless, let's get looking into Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday's slate. So I'm not going to have very many leans today. I think that today is a day to be best to lay off. I'm just going to go, this is probably going to be a really quick video. I'm just going to go through and give my opinion and the reason why I wouldn't play a game for every single game that I have. And yeah, it's going to be quick. We're going to knock it out. So Creighton -7.5. I think Creighton wins this game. 7.5 is just too many points. To see a 7 -105 available. If it was get down to like 6 maybe, but Xavier's a team that can shoot lights out on a random basis. It was a lot like the Butler versus Indiana game that I talked about the other day. You just really, it could be, Butler could win as an underdog, or Butler could have lost by 10, and I believe they did lose by like 9. So this is the same way. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Xavier won or if Creighton covered the 7. So there's not really a way that I would touch this game by any means at all. Maybe the over 155, but I think that's a really good number. So I would say nothing there. Next, Oregon will be without Dante, and UCLA is just a team that I really don't understand. I can't really get a good feel for, so not a team I would bet against. Again, I would lay completely off this. I would have liked to take the under if the number was bigger. I was thinking it was going to open like 144, 144.5, and it did not, so nothing there. The Rutgers-Ohio State game. So Rutgers is a team that I'm relatively low on. I think Geo Baker's a really good basketball player, and I've been too low on. So I watched the last few games. I watched a couple highlights and a little bit of film, and they look like a really good team. They have, I cannot think of his name off the top of my head, but they have, Ron Harper. Ron Harper has completely changed his game, and he's a very good basketball player now. So I need to put a lot more respect on them. Ohio State's a really good guard-driven team, but they don't really have size. I think, if anything, this is going to be a shootout, and I would have to go over 141. But again, I don't understand Rutgers enough right now, and it's just something that I personally wouldn't put money on. Georgetown, Seton Hall, another game that just Georgetown continues to not make sense. They keep playing good teams to good games and don't have them rated as a very good team. Seton Hall, I thought would be a 7-point favorite here, and they were open at 9, so could not play that. 9 is too much here. I don't really see any way to play this. They will be getting Aiken back, I believe. He might have played last game. I didn't really keep up with it too much, but that should bring him more offense. But 147, it's too many points. So there's not really a way to play this game, and I would lay off this one completely as well. So my battery died, so I don't really know where we got into the Illinois Penn State talk, but nonetheless, I think Illinois has to be the side here -3.5, and so that would be my first lean for the day. Next, we have Villanova versus Marquette. Villanova opened up as a -3. It shows 4 here, but they opened up 3. And there's still 4.5 everywhere. And there's another 4 Pinnacle. That's pretty interesting. And so, yeah, I would have to take Villanova here. Marquette situationally is in a position that they should need a win. And it makes sense for a spot where you get their best effort off of a loss versus they've lost 3 of the last 4 games. I believe they lost to Xavier. And who did they lose to before Xavier? I'm not sure, but they've lost really good games. And it makes sense for this to be like a quote-unquote trap line. But I just don't think that Villanova is a team that you can give 3 points to anyway. So I think that Baylor, Gonzaga, Iowa are the only teams that should be a 1-bucket favorite or underdog to this Villanova team. They just are so fundamentally sound that I just don't see any potential for a letdown here. They're going to be ready to come play this game. Villanova has played great defense. So they actually have allowed, I was just looking up at this, 68, 66, 63, 64 to some very good basketball teams. They have this game listed at 71-68. I don't think that Villanova stops at 71 points. I can't imagine them only scoring 71. And yeah, so they lost to Seton Hall. So Marquette, it makes sense for this to be a spot where they need to win at home. It makes a lot of sense, but I just don't think market has the answers. And at -4, 3.5, 4, 4.5, I think that if in late game situations, Villanova can put the ball in Gillespie's hands and he's going to hit a free throw for you. So I'm going to have to lean Villanova -4, I think. Yeah, 4. Next, we have a game that is canceled, but I'm just going to talk about it for a second. We actually had an official play on Georgia Tech -1.5. Got canceled. It was all the way up to 3, 3.5, which was annoying. I am a UAB graduate, and I am very low on UAB. I'm hypercritical on my team, and let me just show you why real quick. So UAB is putting up really good numbers, and if you look at this team, they're ranked 98th in KenPom. So let's just look. So they've beaten Alcorn State 343rd, 328th, 348, 291, 284. They scraped past East Tennessee State. I thought they should have lost this game. If you look back, they did not play very good basketball. East Tennessee State didn't either. Should have lost this game. And recent loss to Chattanooga, 163. So the best team that they've played is 163, and they lost. And Georgia Tech was going to run them out of the gym. It was a 1.5. I saw it opened at +1 Georgia Tech, and made me laugh. I really wanted UAB to win this game so that I could bet big on these next few games. I don't think that they're a good team at all. I think that they should be more like the 150, 160s. They're more of an East Tennessee State type team, and I think there's a lot of value in fading them. So unfortunately, we weren't. I was actually going to go to the UAB versus Georgia Tech game. So unfortunately, it got canceled, but COVID is ruining lives. So next, Indiana versus Northwestern. I really liked. So they have not played this year. So DePaul will be playing their first game tomorrow. That's interesting. We actually bet any other games that stand out. South Carolina State, they're canceled, but they're god awful. Bellarmine versus Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame. So this number's a bit too high. I think that they're still being overvalued. Total's also really high. I think that this game will go under. I don't think Notre Dame has the offense that numbers show, and Bellarmine has continued to keep scores low, I believe. That is off the head. That is not a lean. I don't know enough on those two teams. So there is one game I'm missing. It is Washington State. So where's the Washington State? Yeah, here it is. So Washington State versus Northwestern State. This one was interesting, and it's one I have circled for the morning. I believe it starts at 4. Yeah, so it's a 4 p.m. game. Washington State's a really good team. They are 7-0, and they keep being undervalued. They've turned things around after a game versus Idaho. They didn't look very good, and now they've shown that they're a good basketball team. So Washington State's a good basketball team, and over that angle, the angle that this has to be pointing towards is Northwestern State just played Gonzaga, the most intense, one of the best basketball teams I've ever watched play. They didn't just play them; they played them today or yesterday as I'm recording this, and the day before. They played them back-to-back days. Yesterday's or to whatever the last game was, they scored like 61 points in the second half or something. So they played an 8 p.m. game. Here it is. They played an 8 p.m. game, but literally the last one on the slate. And it went the full, like they've tried their hardest until the very end. They scored 61 points in the second half. And now they have to leave Gonzaga, travel. I believe it's an hour and a half, but it's been snowing, so probably about 2, which give them 2.5 hours. So they've up to Washington State to play. So they're going to leave at what? So they probably, that's West Coast. So they left that stadium at 8 p.m., probably 8:30. So they're going to get to the hotel at 10:30, 11, and have to wake up, prepare for another basketball game that starts at 4. So just a terrible spot for them, and Washington State a good spot for them. All right, that's all I have for Wednesday. Looks like there's a lot of triathlons on the board. Don't force any action. Enjoy the holidays. Basketball is about to be taking a hiatus, so it's a good time. We're going to review. I'm going to go through the season so far and just review teams, who's done good, who has played under their means, and who's overvalued. We'll do those in the coming days, but just don't force action on the last day. That's all I have to say. The leans for today are Illinois -3, Gonzaga -4, and Washington State first half -9.5. Those are the 3 leans I have. We don't have any. No, we have one official play so far for tomorrow. Everything I say, take it with a grain of salt. Is a lean at the end of the day. You hit submit on your own bets. So make sure you're doing your due diligence before you bet anything. And other than that, I appreciate you all for watching me every single day. I'm sure these get boring. This one's going to be like 14 minutes. It's not as bad. My camera died in the middle, so hopefully it kind of flows together a little bit. We have our green screen coming in. UPS is just being slow because it's the holidays, and we're not stressing that. So quality is going to get better, and we're working on this every single day. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have a spread that I didn't talk about and you want to share it, or you have a question for me about a spread, feel free to ask in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoy what we're doing on a daily basis, leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and let's make some money.